Okay, so let me guess. You've seen the news, you've seen all the things going on, and you're thinking to yourself, maybe I should be doing something. But then the question hits you, well, where do I even start? Well, hey, grab a notebook, grab some coffee, have a seat. Let's go over this. Okay, guys, listen. Prepping's not about living in fear. It's about being prepared for whatever comes along. Power goes out, you got some flashlights. Food shortage, you got some cans of food built up. Zombie apocalypse? Okay, maybe not. But anyway, it's not about living in fear. It's not about these guys living in bunkers with ammo stacked to the ceiling and things like that. It's about being ready for whatever comes along your way. So here's how you get started. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is the rule of threes. You can go 3 minutes without air. Don't try it. You can go 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, and approximately 3 hours without shelter out in severe weather, depending on, that's when things get bad. Obviously, if it's summertime, it's 75 degrees out, you're fine. But as a general rule, wintertime, whatever, 3 hours out in harsh elements, okay? So this isn't about, you don't need to go out and buy, 100 cans of food today. This is about getting started. Okay, guys, so let's start off with water, okay? They recommend you have 1 gallon of water per person per day. Now, that's just for drinking, okay? If you're talking sanitation, maybe you're gonna do some laundry, things like that, you're gonna need a lot more, okay? 1 gallon of water per day for drinking purposes, okay? If you can collect rainwater in your area, if that's legal in your area, by all means, go ahead and do it, because even if you can't filter that water, you can use it for sanitation and laundry and things like that. So you got to have water. Okay, next let's talk about food. Now don't go out and buy $5,000 worth of freeze-dried food right off the bat. Start with things you already eat. If you eat green beans and soups and things like that, start with them. Don't buy stuff you don't already eat. If you don't like peas, don't buy peas. Next time you go to the store, just get 2 of all the canned stuff you get. 1 for now, 1 for later. Okay? Start off, pretty soon you'll have 3 days worth of food. That's a good start. It's not where we want to end, but it's a good start. Sooner or later you'll have a month, then you'll have 3 months. Okay? So just start stocking slowly, things that you already eat. Pastas are good, canned foods, things like that, canned meats, because you're going to need protein, peanut butter, things that you already eat. Okay, so what about shelter? Yeah, you're going to stay in your house. Do you have another way to heat your house in case the power goes out? What if there's a blizzard this winter? We've seen the crazy weather. I think that's a good possibility if you're up here in the Northeast. You never know, right? Do you have alternative heating sources? Do you have extra blankets? Do you have a tent? You can set a tent up in your house to keep the area smaller that you need to heat. Might not be ideal, but it's better than freezing to death. Okay, security. Now, security's not all about Freedom Seed dispensers and things like that. Can you black out your windows? Because if you're the only house on the block with lights on, people are going to notice. Sometimes all it takes is dogs barking, battery-powered motion lights, things like that. Make sure your house is secure, okay? You don't want to draw attention to yourself in a situation like that because, the neighbors are going to notice. Okay, what about sanitation? Sanitation is going to be a big thing, okay? Not only do you have to keep yourself clean with hygiene, but you're going to have to dispose of your waste if the water stops running, okay? If the power goes out for a long time, the pumps at the water station are going to stop working, okay? Then you're not going to be able to flush your toilet, so on and so forth, right? So, do you have an extra toilet, right? Camping toilet, hell, even a 5-gallon bucket works, okay? Get something that you can and put bags in a 5-gallon bucket, right? So you can dispose of the waste, okay? So, hey, sanitation is going to be a big deal, so you need to think about that. Okay, now, what are you prepping for? Okay, that's something that you need to know starting out too. If you're not sure, I'll post a link at the end of this video to a video that will help you figure out exactly what it is you're prepping for. And also, are you bugging in or are you bugging out? Okay, depends on the scenario. And you need to put together a bug out bag to sustain you for 3 days, depending on how far you're going. Okay, if you don't know what the essentials for a bug out bag is, there'll be another video linked at the end of this that will help you learn all about that. So stay tuned to that. Click on them if you need it. Okay, so if you're just starting out, you're going to make mistakes. We've all done it. I'm going to help you try to avoid some of these mistakes, okay? First of all, you don't need to go out and buy tons of gear right off the bat. It's more important to have water, food, things like that when you're starting out, okay? Gear comes later. Also, make sure you're testing out your flashlights, right? You got flashlights you throw in a drawer. You don't know if they work or not. They've been in there for a year. Check your flashlights. Change the batteries as needed. Things like that. Also, go through your junk drawers, your garage, things like that. You're going to find items that you already have that you can use in an SHTF situation, okay? You might not even know they're there. They've been in a drawer for years or whatever. Maybe you got some paracord, you know. Maybe you've got things like that. Open a drawer, you got 3 or 4 lighters in there to make a fire if you need to, you know. So go through your stuff. You'll be surprised at what you find. Okay, so your first week, week 1 of becoming a new prepper. Here's what you need to do. Get 3 days worth of food, 3 days worth of water. Now we're not stopping there, but this is week 1, remember, right? Inventory your gear. Once you went through those junk drawers in the garage and things like that, see what you got. Write them all down, right? Make a contact list, okay? Maybe mutual friends that are like-minded, family members, things like that. Write all that stuff down, okay? Inventory your food. Write down the dates. Right? If you store water in jugs and things like that, write down the dates that you put that water in the jug, okay? That way you don't go end up drinking 3-year-old tap water, you know, that you didn't. Don't ask me how I know that. We'll discuss that another time. But your week 1 checklist: water, food, and supplies, right? Write it all down, see what you got. All right, so now you got a plan. Now you know where to start, right? Now you got a plan for food, a plan for water, so on and so forth, okay? You're off to a good start, okay? Again, if you don't know what you're prepping for, check out the link at the end of the video. If you need to know what you need to put in your bug out bag, check out the other link in the end of the video. But you're on your way, okay? You're not crazy, okay? You need to do this. We've all seen the news. We've seen the things that's been going on. Who knows what's going to happen, okay? We could have another pandemic. There could be wars. There's so many things going on right now. What the final situation, SHTF, whatever does get us, you know, who knows what it's going to be. But you need to have a plan. You need to have your supplies ready. This is a good place to start, okay? So, hey, let me know what your first item that you're going to get is, okay? First thing that you're going to put in your preps for your week 1 checklist. And, guys, listen, stay safe, stay alert, keep your head on a swivel. Don't wait for SHTF, because it's not going to wait for you. God bless everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.